There's a reason many drivers spend hundreds of dollars fixing the wrong problem, and it usually starts with misdiagnosing a simple sensor. The mass airflow sensor is one small sensor in your car that causes more wrong diagnoses and wasted money than almost any other part under the hood. And the thing is, most mechanics won't even want you to know this because if you know what the issue it is to fix, then you won't have to rely solely on them. Considering that for most car brands, this is a fix you can do yourself, be it replacement, cleaning, resetting, or even bypassing the sensor, which is exactly why this video is for you. Because we're talking about the mass airflow sensor, also called the MAF sensor, we are going to look at what it actually does, what your car feels like when it goes bad, that is, symptoms of a bad mass airflow sensor, why resetting MAF sensor sometimes works and sometimes doesn't, and later in the video I'll show you how to unplug, delete, or bypass the mass airflow sensor, including when bypassing will help and when it is just a waste of time and will even make things worse. So if you stay with me to the end, you'll be able to identify whether the sensor is the reason your car feels off, or if you should stop blaming it and move on to something else. Why the MAF sensor controls everything. Before we get into the symptoms, reset, and bypassing steps, let's look at why this sensor is even important. So your engine does one simple thing. It breathes air and burns fuel. And the mass airflow sensor's job is to measure how much air is entering the engine, so the computer knows exactly how much fuel to inject. When that reading is accurate, the engine runs smoothly, responsively, and efficiently. When it's wrong, even by a small amount, everything starts feeling strange. Acceleration feels delayed, idle feels unstable, and fuel economy quietly drops. It's like cooking with the wrong measurements. You might still end up with food, but it won't taste right, and sometimes it becomes completely inedible. In most cars, the MAF sensor sits between the air filter box and the engine. If you open the hood and follow the intake tube coming from the air filter, you'll find a small plastic housing with an electrical connector plugged into it. Inside that housing is a very delicate sensing element. It's extremely sensitive to dirt, oil vapor, and dust. This is why dirty air filters, over-oiled, aftermarket filters, and general engine bay contamination slowly affect it. The sensor might still be working, but it's no longer reading airflow correctly, and that's where the problems begin. Here is what the symptoms of a bad mass airflow sensor feels like while driving. Symptom number 1, rough idle. One of the earliest signs is a rough idle that just doesn't feel stable. You stop at a red light and the car feels shaky. The engine sounds uneven, and the RPMs move up and down for no clear reason. Sometimes it feels like the engine might stall, and other times it just vibrates enough to make you uncomfortable. Idle is the most sensitive moment for airflow measurement, and when the MAF sensor starts lying, this is often the first place you feel it. Number 2, hesitation when accelerating. As the problem progresses, you may notice hesitation when you press the gas. You step on the accelerator, and instead of the car responding immediately, there's a pause. That pause might be short, but it feels wrong. Sometimes the car suddenly jerks forward, and other times it just feels lazy and slow. What's happening here is that the engine computer doesn't trust the airflow data, so fuel delivery becomes inconsistent. A healthy car reacts instantly to your foot. A bad MAF makes the car feel like it's thinking too long before acting. 3, a loss of power at speed. Not long after that, the loss of power becomes noticeable, especially at higher speeds. Highway driving starts feeling harder than it should. Going uphill feels like more of a struggle, and overtaking another car suddenly feels risky. This often makes people think they have a transmission problem or a failing engine, but in reality, the engine simply doesn't know how much air it's getting, so it can't produce power efficiently. And in a moment, I'll explain why unplugging the sensor sometimes makes the car feel better in this exact situation, even though it's not a real fix. Symptom 4, fuel economy drops. Another sign that catches people off guard is fuel economy dropping. Without any logical explanation, your driving habits haven't changed. Your route is the same, but you're filling up more often. This happens because a bad MAF sensor often causes the engine to run rich, meaning it injects more fuel than needed. More fuel burned means more money spent, and if this goes on long enough, it leads to damage that we'll talk about shortly. 5, stalling at low speeds. As the airflow readings become more unstable, some cars begin stalling at low speeds. The engine may shut off when slowing down, coming to a stop, or sometimes when pulling away from idle. This happens because the airflow reading suddenly drops and the engine can't adjust quickly enough. Stalling isn't just annoying, in traffic it can be dangerous. At number 6 is check engine light. Eventually, the car may turn on the check engine light. Common airflow-related codes include P0100, P0101, P0102, and P0103. These codes don't automatically mean the sensor is dead. What they really mean is that the airflow data doesn't make sense to the engine computer. That distinction is important, especially when we get to cleaning and resetting the sensor later. And 7, a black smoke from the exhaust pipe. In more severe cases, you may even notice black smoke coming from the exhaust. That's a clear sign that too much fuel is being burned. Excess fuel doesn't just disappear, it damages spark plugs, oxygen sensors, and catalytic converters. This is where ignoring a small sensor can turn into a very expensive repair. And this ties directly into why people regret driving with a failing MAF sensor for too long, which I'll touch on before the end. Now here's why these problems get worse over time. What's important to understand is that these symptoms usually don't appear overnight. A MAF sensor degrades gradually. A little hesitation becomes noticeable hesitation. Slight rough idle turns into stalling. Minor fuel loss becomes painful fuel bills. That's why catching it early matters. How to reset the MAF sensor. Before replacing anything, the first thing you should always try is cleaning or resetting the system. This step costs nothing, and in some cases, it genuinely helps. To reset the MAF sensor, turn the engine off completely, disconnect the negative battery terminal, and wait about 10 to 15 minutes. This clears learned airflow values from the computer. When you reconnect the battery and drive normally, the system relearns proper readings. If the sensor is only slightly off or dirty, performance may improve. But if the sensor is damaged or heavily contaminated, the problem will return, which is why resetting isn't a guaranteed fix. Talking about cleaning the MAF sensor, a full video on how to clean the mass airflow sensor will be linked below to guide you step by step on how you can do so. Do well to check out that video in the description below. Now to hear how to bypass, delete, or unplug the mass airflow sensor. This will mostly apply to the big chunky Gen 3 MAF that uses a 5-wire connector, because on this one, the MAF and the intake air temp sensor share the same housing. If you have a different style sensor or fewer wires, stop here and check the correct wiring for your car. Moving on, start by turning the ignition off. Remove the key and disconnect the negative battery terminal. You do not want to be cutting or splicing anything with power on the harness. Next, locate the MAF connector and identify the 5 wires going into it. On this 5-wire style, 3 wires are for the MAF circuit, and 2 wires are for the intake air temperature circuit. The 3 MAF wires are typically yellow, pink, and black with a white stripe. The 2 IAT wires are typically black and tan. Do not assume this based on color alone. Use your connector pin layout or wiring diagram to confirm which 2 wires are the IAT pair before you do anything else, because those 2 are the ones you must keep for the engine to run correctly. Now you're going to delete the MAF portion, but you are not deleting the IAT signal. The goal is simple. The ECU must still see a valid intake air temperature sensor, so you will be moving the IAT function out of the MAF housing and into a standalone IAT sensor. With the connector identified, unplug the MAF sensor. If you are physically removing the MAF housing from the intake, do that now. At this point, your harness still has the 5 wires, but you will only be using the 2 IAT wires going forward. Now install your standalone IAT sensor into the intake tract, where it can measure incoming air temperature correctly. A common placement is in the intake pipe after the air filter and before the throttle body, or wherever your setup calls for. Thread it in properly, seal it correctly, and make sure it's not touching anything that will heat soak it and throw off readings. Now the wiring part. The standalone IAT sensor is a 2-wire sensor, and it needs to connect to the 2 IAT wires that used to go to the MAF housing. On most setups, polarity on a basic 2-wire IAT sensor is not directional like a motor, but you still must wire it correctly because one side is typically a sensor ground and the other is the signal return to the ECU. Take the 2 IAT wires from the original MAF connector, again typically black and tan, and extend them cleanly to the location of the new IAT sensor using automotive-grade wire of similar gauge. Do not use twist and tape. Use one of these methods. Solder plus adhesive heat shrink or sealed crimp splices rated for automotive use. Make sure the splices are strong, sealed, and strain-relieved so they don't fail from vibration. At the new IAT sensor connector, connect one IAT wire to one terminal and the other IAT wire to the other terminal. If you have a wiring diagram for the new IAT sensor, follow the terminal labeling exactly, for example, signal and ground. If you don't, then confirm the sensor's pinout from the manufacturer documentation before finalizing the connection. Now, you must deal with the 3 MAF wires that you are no longer using. You do not want bare wire ends shorting to ground or each other, so do not leave them exposed. Either depin them from the connector and isolate them back into the harness, or cut them with enough length and individually cap and seal each wire end with heat shrink so they cannot touch anything. The 3 you are isolating are typically yellow, pink, and black-white stripes. But again, confirm with your diagram. At this point, the bypass is complete. The ECU no longer receives a MAF signal, but it still receives a valid IAT signal from the standalone sensor. Now, reconnect the battery and cycle the ignition on without starting for a few seconds, then off, then on again. This is a quick check for immediate electrical issues. If you have a scan tool, check that the intake air temperature reads plausibly with the engine cold. It should be close to ambient temperature. If the reading is wildly high, wildly low, or fixed at an impossible number, that means the IAT wiring is wrong, the sensor is wrong, or the ECU isn't seeing the circuit correctly. Now, if you find this video to be helpful, check out this other video here on 3 ways to clean the mass airflow sensor without removing it. I will see you there.